indeed. Greetings upon you, beloved and only friends. Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. I do appreciate your presence. Let's melt more into being, shall we? Melting more into being. What does that even mean, dude? Interestingly enough, the first time I ever said that to myself was at a music festival. And I was sitting in like one of the indoor stages. And it was a really cool vibe, but I was completely alone. And in that state of complete aloneness, if you will, it was like, let me paint you a little bit of a mental picture, shall I? It is like a little bit of a hall area, if you can call it a hall. Like imagine like a little bit of like a school hall type of setup. Had big doors on the side, had a big door on the back, and then in the side, like in the left corner, there was like a little nook that was kind of sectioned off from the rest of the environment with like these tent shields, if you will, something like that. And it was really cool because in that little tent shielded space, there were these cushions and there were these little tables, and inside of those tables, or using water bottles, those tables had like the legs used as water bottles, if that makes any sense. So there was ample amounts of water, and it was just such a like a safe environment, a genuinely safe environment. And I was sitting there and I was thinking to myself, like in this like state of being alone, if you will, I was thinking to myself, is there something that I need to do right now? You know, like I felt in that moment like I was in this completely disconnected space from the rest of reality. Ooh, Riot is here. Made it, Brother Bear. How have you been? Sending you so much love. Thank you so much, Ryan. Sending you love back. Hey, Dame, just woke up. No work today. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It is Canadian vacation day or something, right? I think so. Good evening, SDN. Good morning, Dame. Good morning, or yeah, it's good morning for you. Good morning, Yader. Thank you for joining me, my friend. But yeah, so I was sitting there in that moment feeling kind of disconnected from all of the rest of the world, all of the rest of the problems, all of the rest of the responsibilities that I felt I had out there. And I was thinking to myself, what is it that I need to do? And like as I was asking myself this question over and over again, I started saying to myself, you need to melt more into being. And like when I said that to myself, it was so profound, that I had to record it for myself as well. Like I took a voice note, and you can hear like I've listened to it a few times again. You can hear like the background music and like people talking in the background, and just me like melt more into being, dude. That's all you have to do. Genuinely, the only thing that's genuinely expected of you, just be. And then all of the rest flows from that. Good morning, Yader. I'm so excited. 2 extra days, no work. And then there's still the weekend. Yes, Canadian holiday. I'm so happy for you, Dame. You deserve this, friend. You deserve this. Why am I hot today? I don't know. Like I'm actually burning up. Is it because the sun is beating down on me? Not really even. Maybe I'm stressed. I have I have anxiety with all of these people watching me. Yes, that's how you know me, right? Canadian holiday. Gob is here as well. Hey, Gob, dude. How far are you from finished if you're painting, man? How far are you from finished? Like, I mean, it's not like you can just kind of quantify and be like, oh yes, exactly 55 brush strokes left, and then I'll be done, melt more. Because I would love to tune in, but I feel you always stream when I'm sleeping, dude. Or when I'm like very busy, and then I come back to it having missed it. I wanna catch it live again, dude. You've made so much progress. Rena's here as well. Greetings. Super multitasking at the moment, but still want to be here as well. Thank you for being here with us, Rena. Me and Rena had a really cool chat last night, and it's been fun. Just communicating, co-creating, understanding. Interestingly enough, another one of the topics that me and Rena talked about It's poly relationships. So I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share this information, Rena. Yeah, I'll wait for you to tell me whether or not I'm allowed to. Like, I just want to share. I'm not gonna share everything, right? I'm not gonna share details. Just want to share the gist of it, if you're okay with that. Hey Edmund, thank you for joining us as well, my lovely friend. I'm so happy to see you. We have Kristen here as well. Am I missing someone? Not just yet. Good morning, Ed, my brother. How are you? Hi from Melody. Ryan, I love you, dear brother. There we go. Hey Ryan, my brother. It is so good to have you here. Mystery man, doing pretty well. How about you? Life has been so busy for me. Finally had time to see you all. I love you, my sister. Oh, that's beautiful. We appreciate you being here with us, Ryan. You want to catch us up? What you've been up to, dude? We've missed you, man. It feels like we don't even know who Ryan Sheenan is anymore. You have to catch us up again, dude. Give us the whole breakdown. Couple of months, I think. Dude, you still think you're gonna be busy for a couple of months? Gob? Is that the perfectionist in you speaking? Like, you literally just, like, for a month long, you like paint a single brush stroke, and then you like scrape it off with your little palette knife, and you're like, no. Single brush stroke again for a month long. For some reason, I see you doing that now on my head. Hey, with the Drake's and Fours. Some artworks are never finished. Yeah, I think artworks aren't ever finished, actually. I'd rather go as far as to say. Because as a painter or as an artistic person, you can just continue forever, adjusting things, maybe making this thing a little bit right. Again, as I was saying, with the scraping paint off and then starting over again. Our perfectionist natures coming through. Damn. That single bud crushed into more bud than I anticipated it would. So I don't think I need to crush the second one. If I could, I'd give this to you, friend. Yes, you. You, like me? Yes. Yes, you. I would give it to you. Gonna try something? I'm going to imagine. Close my eyes. See this portal opening up. See myself with like a handful of nugs. Pushing my hand through said portal. Portal opens on your side. And I just kind of drop the nug and pull it back out. Try and find the buds. Try and find the buds. I got my favorite movie on in the background. Anyone ever seen Revisor Dogs? I can't say that I have, Ryan. I love the feeling of opening a melt stream. It's like coming home. Kristen, that is so wholesome, Fred. Wow, thank you. I appreciate you being here with me. If you feel, whoa, I'm experiencing deja vu. I feel like that's probably going to be something that happens a few more times. But if you feel like this is like coming home, then you are like family, right? At the end of the day. That you don't feel like you're home if you're not family with the people that live in that home. So yes, I agree, Kristen. We're home here. We keep fire here. Like I've been thinking about this so much, this fire keeping idea. And like I'm like visualizing it as like we bring together into this space our own like torches, right? And because of this like stacking of torches, this fire grows hotter and hotter, and then we can take this hot fire out to the inner world and light other people's torches as well. The whole happiness is like a candle. You can light 10,000 other candles without your candle ever dimming. Firekeeping. Yeah. Here we keep fire. I'm so happy to be cultivating fire with you, friends. I love that movie. I'm a big Tarantino fan, and not just because I share a name. Might be like, is there a little bit of a bias? Maybe not bias, but is there some pride in it? Maybe, Edmund, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, my surname, this dude's surname, yes. Because I would be like that. I think a little bit at least. I feel so all over the place. I think it may be because of the 2 coffees that I drank. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. You are perfectly free to create anew. Man, I really enjoy that. You are perfectly free to create anew. Because because like the reason I really enjoy just that few combination of words is because of our propensity to get stuck, you know. We get so stuck in what it is we're experiencing right now that we feel that's almost the ultimate reality. But you are always free to create a new stream drop. Just as we were going to the front page as well. But let's go again. Let's go again. Can't keep this old dog down. It is a shame, though. It is a shame. But this is just Reddit things. Just all good old Reddit things. I love you so much, Reddit. But please, please, sir, please, good sir, stop dropping my streams. Please. Please, please. If you would be so kind as to not do that, then I would be happy. Or continue doing it, because now I'm feeling something, you know, again. It makes me feel something else every time as well, which is kind of curious to me. I never feel the same way about the streams dropping. Like usually there's this like tinge, maybe just like a little bit of a sprinkle of frustration. But these days there's more of like a comical nature to it to me. Like it's like funny. It's like, well, okay, of course this thing is happening. Yes, funny, very funny. Oh, it's not working again, is it? Yeah, I don't think so. Oh, it's working. It's working. I was about to go and drop it again. Back again. Yeah, we love you. Well, thank you so much, Gav. I love you so much as well. Blink. And you are on episode 182. Blink 182, dude. Interestingly enough, when I was listening to a lot of punk rock, like Sum 41, My Chemical Romance, Bullet for My Valentine, like I started easing into Blink 182 as well. But my father didn't necessarily appreciate. Did my pen roll away? Or underneath me? There it is. Like my dad didn't really appreciate the Blink 182 lyrics. So I wasn't allowed to continue listening to that. And then I adjusted my listening style to make sure my dad doesn't hear what I listen to, so that I can continue listening to atrocious music without him knowing. Back again, yes we are. Love you all so much. We love you as well, Kristen. Thank you for being here with us. Just another test, my friend. It is, Edmund. It really is. Like, and I'm not worried about this as well. And that's why I say it's comical. Because I realize that it's a test, but it's at this point where I feel like I hope at least that I've learned the lesson. You know, if this is a test, I feel like at this point we've learned the lesson, right? Like, yeah, be patient. Don't get angry about things that you can't change outside yourself. And like, I do know. And stop teaching me this lesson over and over again, life, please. Oh, please, I know. I'm patient. I'll wait. I promise. Here I am, waiting. Mr. Smities, I'll come to your comment now, Fred. I need to catch up already. Here we are, and it's working. Yes, it is. This one is gonna work continuously, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure we won't moon again, but at least in this way, we'll be able to like have some interaction. You know, I won't be 20 minutes behind again, I'm sure. Gave you permission to talk about poly stuff and said that I trust you and also that the bud was really cute. There we go. Thank you, Rena. So, like, basically, I just told Rena, okay, let me backtrack to yesterday morning. So yesterday morning, we basically started talking about poly relationships and how, because of a streamer friend we have, I've been considering, at least for my own life, a poly relationship instead of the traditional monogamous relationship that has been touted as the ideal way because of my Christian upbringing. And because of my propensity now to try and entertain this ideal, to think about it, to try and equip myself, if you will, with the information I need. Hello? Hello? You back to abuse me? Are you back to abuse me? You back to abuse me? Anyway, so yesterday morning we got into a chat about it. Then yesterday's stream we got into a chat about it. You see what she's doing? Eating my pashmina. And then like I started talking to Rena, and it turns out Rena has been in poly relationships for a lot of her life. And then we just started communicating about that, you know. But I feel like again I have some attachments to the way that I would want it to work if I was to ever go into something like that. And I feel like the reason that I enjoy talking about this topic is because it's something that's so foreign to me, something that I've never genuinely, like, how do you consider being in a relationship with more than one person, right? It's not something you can reason or logic yourself into imagining. At least I'm trying to. I'm desperately trying to, but I can't. So I'm trying to, in my pursuit of talking about this, hearing from you friends what you feel about it, I'm trying to form some sort of cohesive understanding of this idea and how it's supposed to work. New creative prompt in the Discord after stream. Stonks. I'm looking forward to it, Edmund. Lisa's here as well. Everything happens for a reason. It seems to work though. It's gonna work. I'm sure, Rena. This one is gonna work. Ooh. That's weird. But I kind of brushed my nose and it was an intense pain. Okay, our intention. What is our intention going to be? Understanding. I feel that's what I want. I want to understand. Because I don't. I don't understand anything. Man. I don't understand anything. But that's okay. That's what makes life beautiful, you know. We get to learn. We don't have to understand things to appreciate them. You don't have to understand how an apple is grown to be able to pick it and enjoy it, right? And I think the same thing is extended toward life. We don't have to necessarily understand everything or all the bits about it for us to really appreciate it. Super cool of you, Mandoras. Melt is a safe space. I'm so happy to hear that, friend. I'm happy that you think that. Like I won't claim that I'm a safe space because, as you friends know, sometimes I'm a little bit of a mess myself, and I'll cry and get emotional. But I still hope to provide safety even in that, you know, safety and the knowing that you're allowed to feel the things that you're feeling. You're allowed to break down. You're allowed to be vulnerable. You're allowed to show emotions, you know. And I'm talking to our male friends. I know our female friends are a little bit more prone to sharing their deepest feelings and emotions, but you male friends as well, sharing your feelings ain't gonna make your dick fall off, I promise. I promise. I'm sure, I've tested. You can take my word for it. Too many people joining the wonderful stream, the servers can't handle it. Servers can't handle it, Smitey. Servers can't handle it, friend. But, as I've said to you friends as well, because of the nature of how I do these streams, I feel very bad sometimes when like thousands of people show up, because I feel like I can't give, you know, all of my attention to thousands of people at the same time. Where you can do that, but I feel like that's a broad way in communicating and a little bit less indirect, in my personal opinion. And I don't like doing that. Doing pretty well. How are you, friend? I'm doing pretty well as well. I love it when you can recognize the test and have power over the test. This is the way. Yater. This is the only way, friend. We just have to make ourselves more aware. Indeed, it's a brighter start. Thank you, friend. I'm good, thanks. Blinky vibes? Blink-182. Yeah, Jovan actually, like, I feel like I might be saying something that I don't know, but have you seen them live, Jovan? Right? You've seen them live. Understanding and comprehension. Understanding and comprehension is our intention for today. And to you friends who are joining us on the stream and you're wondering what the hell it is I'm doing and why I'm saying these things, quite literally, I believe that with intention, you can shape your reality. And if you don't believe me, go and look at the previous streams. We write something down, we set an intention for why it is we're, for instance, smoking a joint or drinking a cup of water. And usually because of that intention that we set close to the start of the stream, information flows from that, you know. There's like a, it's like you basically put this thing forward into the universe, like I want understanding and comprehension. And then as a result of that, from these streams, understanding and comprehension flows. And it blows my mind every single time. And I'm so blessed to be able to spend this time with you, friends. Frisky Kiki. She wasn't too keen today, fortunately. We played a little bit this morning. She woke up choosing ultra nightmare level violence again. And then she just kind of eased out, fortunately. I do have another cut in my foot. But I mean, we're making progress. Making bits and bits of progress every single day. SDZ, thank you for joining us as well, friend. I love having you here. Poly relationships, something I would love to talk about if others have been in them as well. I don't know many other poly peeps. You see, and I said the exact same thing to Irina as well, actually, Tristan, because the first time I've ever been like introduced to a person in a poly relationship was Simon, and we were talking about relationships, and Simon brought that up. And then, you know, yesterday, I felt like yesterday was definitely a day of me thinking about that as well. Huh? What are you saying? Peacock? There's a rooster like, sitting just like across from me. Anyway, and her being in a poly relationship as well, I told her as well that I've never been exposed to something like that. Like in my upbringing, it's never something that was ever discussed with me, never something that I even really thought as a possibility. When poly relationships used to be, you know, the traditional way of doing things at one point in our existence. And it's weird. It really is a weird thing to kind of think about because, and again, as I said, like I have an ideal in my own head where if I was to be in a poly relationship, I'd probably want to be with two female partners. And like in a relationship like that, the reason I think it would work, like at least in theory for my mind, is the fact that I believe I'm going to be a busy individual my entire life. You know, I can't sit still. Believe it or not, I have to like consciously and continuously generating information with my mind, so I can't switch that off. So I'm stuck in my own mind for a lot of the time, or I'm just running around all over the place. You know, not staying in one place for a very long time. And when you're in a relationship, those things are kind of like negatives, you know, being too in your own head, being too travel-y, is that a thing? Moving around too much. Like, it's not exactly something that's great for a relationship. But in my personal opinion, if I was in a relationship with two other partners, they could be there for each other emotionally when I am unable to be. You know, when I'm working, when I'm going out into the world to do something, they will still have each other to like have company, to have intimate relationships, to have emotional connection. And then if I return to the relationship, then it can be something that flows from there, right? Does that make sense? How do you friends feel about it? Like, does it make sense to you? Like, it's a difficult thing to wrap my head around. Very strong and healthy way to enter a lifestyle change. I'm not exactly sure. But like, thank you, Dave. Thank you. Like maybe just the questioning of it can be more simple than a mono relationship. Everyone just needs to be on the same page, or at least in the same book. I hear you. Like I think there's gonna be a lot of communication necessary for something like that to genuinely work. And I'm like curious. I'm genuinely curious as to how something like that would even happen, you know? Because like I already in the state I am right now, and for the longest time I thought for myself that there is only like one partner out there somewhere in the world that's going to be this partner that I need and is going to fulfill me. But that in its own, like I kind of had a disconnect as to how that will happen, right? This ideal partner that I've imagined for myself, where am I supposed to find her? Now I'm considering something like a poly relationship. How how you go about that? I don't know. I don't know. Like, do you meet two people already in love and then you go into a relationship with them? Are you in a relationship with one person and then you tell them about your want to be in a poly relationship and then you bring another person into the relationship? Are you basically approached? Uh, too much. I don't know. I can't know. I don't understand anything other than that. My favorite part is saying that. It's from the it's from the not knowing that you allow yourself to be. And from that being is where you know. Right? That's the gist of it. Understanding. I don't understand anything. But we can learn. Ooh, we can learn. If anything, we human beings do enjoy do enjoy growing and learning. That's definitely a safe space, and one I'm one female that is horrible at sharing feelings. Well, here we are for you, friend. You are 100% loved and welcome to share if you want to share anything. If not, your presence is appreciated as well. I'm having a mega gratitude attack right now for you, all truly beautiful and loving. I love sharing my inner self. We love having you share your inner self with us as well. You're so received, Ryan. I hope you know that. You do everything you can, brother. No reason to feel guilt. Absolutely. I agree. That's agree as well, actually. I don't know if anyone saw, but I have been busy with my parents. They live in Oregon and are visiting for a week. I didn't know, my friend. I'm so happy to hear that. Like, I'm thinking something, but I'm not sure if it's appropriate to say it. And you're like, Mel, just say it. And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, like, you should provide or cater a situation, a scenario happening, planning for this week that they're there to do the opposite that you felt she did to you, right? Where you felt like she was trying to exclude you from the house ownership because of her parents showing up. I want you to do the opposite of that for her, to show her that you're in this as a union. But that's just my personal opinion. Take it or leave it, my friend. I love you nonetheless. I got to see them live as well a few years ago. I think I remember Jovan's photo from the concert. Yeah, I'm thinking of that one with her sister, but I'm not sure if it's just an overlay or if it was actually, the official thing. It's awesome, Ryan. I hope the visit going well. I hope so as well. A poly person here. So we have SDZ as a poly person, Rena as a poly person, and Simon as a poly person. Like literally because of Reddit, after not having met a single poly person in my entire life, now I've met three. Goodness me. Reddit, Arpan, YYY. Arpan is spicy sometimes. I've seen them live once. Was a big concert goer at one time. I've never been to a concert, but I've been to a few festivals in my life. Understanding? I feel the more I smoke this, the less I understand. Maybe that's the point. Hello to you as well. Midiotic Yak! Dude, how long has it... Oh, Dudette, how long has it been? Like, I feel like it's been 5 months almost. Comprehension. Hey, B. I'm in a poly relationship for almost 3 years now. Feel free to talk to me. Thank you so much for allowing me some leeway, SDZ. So, first and foremost, what type of poly relationship are you in? Like, do you mind telling me the sexual orientations of your partners? Like, go right for the guts. I would love to know. Hey, Thor Odinson, I'm happy you're joining us as well, my friend. Join the convo. Here we are. Yeah, Simon, where you at, dude? Where you at? I think poly is something that either works for you or it doesn't. But it's not something thing everyone can handle. I don't think so either, actually, Edmund. But like, or at least my body is 23 years old, and I've only been in 2 relationships in my life. One that lasted 2.5 years, one that lasted 6 months, and that was 2.5 years ago. That I Oh shit! It's 3 years ago. It's actually 3 years ago now. Yeah, I've been single for 3 years now, and I've stayed single for the last 3 years because I've not felt, one, that I've met the right person, and two, that the reason I was in relationships before in my life because I had a lack within myself. I felt like I was, a depressed individual, and the relationships that I had made me feel a little bit less like that because I got to have sex, got to get this like approval from, a companion, and there was time being spent together, so I didn't have to be with my own thoughts for as long. And for that, like, I kind of had like this list of reasons why a girlfriend is a good thing to have, when that's not what it's supposed to be about. It should be a process of giving yourself to this other individual. And yeah, it's a little bit difficult to do that, especially with a pandemic, especially with the difficulty of finding the one that's going to be the right one, right? And I think it's going to be even more difficult now that I'm considering poly relationships. Like, oh, you had, a narrow amount of, or a small set of people that you would feel is your ideal soulmate. How about you make it like 3 times smaller? How about that? I feel like it really just depends on the people involved. I say this, of course, as someone who has no knowledge of the subject. I feel the way, that's the point I was trying to get to. Despite these relationships I've been in, and I've never even remotely gotten close to something like a poly relationship. So how can I even know if it would work if I've never even tried to make something like that work? Like, it's a wild concept still. A great excuse for I've ever heard. You rock, man, dude. Like, I mean, that's not what it's about at the end of the day as well, right? Like, sex is at most like a cherry on top of the cake, and sex doesn't stay good, because our bodies get old. Like, if I'm 105 years old, I'm pretty sure sex isn't going to be the first thing on my mind. Like, it isn't now as well. Sex is just something that you can like spend intimately with a person, right? But what is it? An hour, maybe max 2 hours, and then it's like an exhausted. You're done with the situation, and then you get this closeness of a person, and that's that closeness, that intimacy, that vulnerability. That's the thing that's important. It's not the actual action. I feel like it could be worked for me if I knew about it. I have so much love and understanding and caring that I could spread. Exactly, and that's the thing as well, Ryan. That's why, in a way, it makes sense to me. Because I do believe it is like literally you, in a way, I want to say the word equipping, but I don't feel equipping is the right word. Allowing, maybe. You're allowing yourself the capacity to love more than one being in an intimate way where you usually don't have that freedom. Mm-hmm. Hey, hey you, hey you dirty girl, you're so dirty, you're so dirty. Freaking my hands are dirty. No biting. Doesn't like me disciplining her. You see, now she's trying to steal my grinder. It's steel. Can't fight back. You remind me to look for it in the flower garden. Mm-mm. Edmund, it's not something everyone can handle for sure. I don't agree that it either works or not. Because if you want it to work, it'll work. I think that's kind of the motto with relationships in general, really, STZ. Like, if you want things to work in a relationship and you genuinely put yourself forth and you're open to communicating, like, it's something that's very interesting to me. Like, and this is going to be a little bit of an insight into the asshole I used to be. But the last relationship that I ended, I ended because of such a petty reason, like looking back at it, I feel like I'm looking at like a 12-year-old child. But I was in this relationship with this girl, and it was very convenient. She lived close to me. She was studying, and I was working for most of the day. We could see each other after work and during weekends, and it was a very nice relationship. It was comfortable. It made sense. And but I should say rather, she enjoyed drinking more, where I enjoy smoking herb more, because I don't necessarily enjoy the feeling of intoxication. I don't believe I get intoxicated by cannabis. You can say it's intoxication, but you know what I'm saying when I'm saying intoxication. Anyway, so as a result of that, there was a little bit. She stole my rolling papers. You see, now she's being feisty. Like, first she stole my grinder, and now she stole my rolling papers. Because I said ha to her, biting my freaking hand. So spicy, so smart. Like, she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows. She's so clever. And yet, I can't be angry at her. Um, what was I getting into a tangent about? Poly relationship. Oh yeah, oh yeah. This relationship that I was in. So I was also at that time like going to these classes, and at these classes there was this absolutely drop dead gorgeous woman who had the biggest eyes I've ever seen in my life. And I know that doesn't sound necessarily attractive, but when I say big eyes, it's like in the way that they look at you. It feels like they're actually looking at you, and that to me is something I didn't feel I was getting from the relationship I was in. And that feeling in the first place, since I grew up with a monogamous understanding of what relationships are supposed to be, I felt like the reason, or at least because I have these feelings for another person, or feel like this person can give me something that my current relationship can't, I shouldn't be in this relationship anymore. And instead of just, outright ending the relationship like a mature person would, I kind of like let things linger. And then one night she was like, "Oh, go out with us. We gotta go drinking." And I was like, "Nah, I'm not really feeling, the going out and drinking thing." And she was like, "Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go with my friend." She goes out the night, and she like returns about like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or something, like not that late. She returns, and she's like laying on the bed, and she's like voice noting, sending voice notes to this guy, and this guy is sending voice notes back. And like I'm in the room with this, and I mean, she's allowed to have friends. But then I ask her, "Oh, who's the guy?" And she tells me, "Oh no, it's this guy I met at the like place we went drinking tonight. It was like a friend of our other friend." And then she tells me about how this dude told her, "Oh man, if you weren't in a relationship, I would totally be hitting on you right now," and stuff like that. Like, she tells me this, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I think I like basically set an ultimatum, and knowing she's stealing my flip-flop, knowing that she doesn't like ultimatums, I set this ultimatum, and I told her, "I don't want you talking to this guy anymore." And I feel in some way still my like egoic consciousness says, yeah, you have the right to say that, when she does all of those, set of things before you say that, voice noting a dude, telling you about his intentions, like literally telling you, "Oh, I totally bang you, but you have a boyfriend," like, and then voice noting him next to me anyway. And that ultimatum, she was like, "I'm not going to stop talking to him." So I was like, "Okay, then we're not going to be together anymore." And that's how the relationship ended, which is not exactly great. I did apologize to her, and I told her that I used that as an excuse because we could obviously communicate about that, and I knew she doesn't like ultimatums. Completely my fault. And like after realizing that as well, I've been single, and I realized that there was this wrong motive to the reason that I ended the relationship, the reason I was in the relationship in the first place, and just the amount of things I did wrong. And that single relationship kind of made me sober to the fact that maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, like at all. when it comes to relationships. And now this idea of poly relationships being introduced to my consciousness, it's something that really intrigues me. And I hate that a niner. I'm so happy to see you, my friend. It's been a while. Uh, but I was truly lucky and found my twin flame and soulmate. My wife and I are so close. She's my best friend. I'm so happy to hear that, Ryan. That's the way it's supposed to be. I'll show you, friends, where she's hid all of my stuff. You see her chasing chickens? I feel like jealousy would be my biggest obstacle with it. But I don't like that because it feels like I'm claiming ownership over someone, and I don't want to do that. Exactly, Edmund. Exactly, dude. And I feel that is, in my own egoic consciousness, the feeling of like, oh, me, that is my biggest problem as well. Is to not be, like, to try and be in a poly relationship where you're like basically saying to each other, we're in a relationship of 3 or more people. But then I would also want to, in my egoic way, expect them to only keep it between us 3 people, Yeah, difficult to talk about. Man, you feel a lot of things. She loved me when I was in my drinking time, loving part of my life. She made me want to be better, and you are, friend. I'm so happy that she stuck with you through this and like help you and saw you grow as well. All aspects of myself, that's the way. Just living your life naturally, meeting new people and falling in love. It just happens. You see, that's interesting to me that you say that, Rena, because you would probably consider me as an extrovert, right? Meltmore is an extrovert. He goes places. Sure, I do. But I'm super shy when it comes to, like, especially women, because I feel like I'm gonna be myself and I'm a loving individual, and then people just kind of are like, oh, this dude is just, a super good friend. And yeah, I am. But then I'm always a super good friend. SDZ, thank you for the insights. I understand that. I suppose it's just like someone else. You want it to work. You make it work. Yep. That's the way. That's the way. Thank you for the wholesome seal of approval, Nelson. I appreciate you being here with us, friend. Beautiful people. I have to cut my time short today. Sister needs a ride, so I gotta run, but loving the conversation. And we love you, Dave. Thank you, friend, for telling us that you're leaving. We wish you a safe trip with your sister. We'll see you again. It might work out in the short term, but unless you're the prince of some small country or Jeff Bezos, you're not gonna get to have 2 girlfriends. Like, it's not that I want 2 girlfriends, friend. That's the thing as well. I'm not saying this is what I want. I want, and I'm not finding it, for the last 3 years, a genuine life partner. Right? That's what I'm saying. I'm just considering this idea of being in a poly relationship, having more than one life partner, so that you can have, more of your needs filled, more of your experience felt, if you will, more understanding and more love shared for one another, even when you can't. That's the idea I'm getting at. We're discussing ideas, friend. Agree. I was an open-minded person traveling around the world when I met my boyfriend and his wife. There we go. That's really interesting, SDZ. Yo. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Dan. Thank you for joining us, friend. We appreciate your presence. So, now I'm curious, SDZ. Where did you meet your boyfriend? Like, where in the world? And how did it happen? Like, if you're willing to share this information, I would love to know. I have no opinion on poly, but I really couldn't imagine it. I just know that it would have happened any time in the past. It wouldn't. I wouldn't have been ready for it. Okay. So I didn't even consider that as an option, Jovan. The fact that maybe I wasn't ready for something like that. You see, now you've introduced a whole plethora of perspective in myself. Would I have been ready for something like that? Are you? How do you be ready for something like that as well? I mean, maybe with your amount of security within yourself and the way that you feel about things, that would be almost like step one if you want to be in a relationship like that. Maybe in that way you have to get ready. Who knows what the future will affect my outlook? Who knows, Jovan? Who knows? Perfect timing. Hey, Alistair. Thank you for joining us, friend. Well, Mel, you know me truly so much. That's what I did too. I helped my wife see what I wanted her there with my family. I know you, friend. This is the perspective that we want to be bringing into the world, and if we can continue to do that, as a result of that, the world will become a better place. It's inevitable. Edmund, yes. I also understand the hard time of jealousy. It's so unhealthy. But for some reason, when we are growing up, society says it's okay to be jealous. Right to the guts. Simon is my boyfriend, lol. Holy shit. Man, what the SDC? Like it felt like these wires like connect, like oh okay, and then and then okay, and then oh what the fuck? Oh man, what a trip. That is such a trip, SDC. Thank you for telling me. I'm so happy for you, friends. Like I love you both so much, and now I like it, yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for telling me that. That makes me really happy. This conversation isn't for me today. See y'all tomorrow. Take care. Sorry, Nate. I'm so sorry that this is not something that you vibrate with, friend. It definitely is difficult subject matter. Like it's definitely not easy. It is a little bit. Oh, I mean, especially if you're married, right? Nate is recently married. Man, I'm gonna reach out to Nate after stream. Thank you for the tree hugs, Luke. I appreciate you, friend. Send regards to your mom. Hope you're well as well. Great way to know if you can work for you is just to give it a try. I think so as well. Scarmelia, thank you for joining us. Packing again today. Have you finished packing your boyfriend's clothing? Did you end up doing that? Exactly why I'm not in a relationship. I'm not ready mentally, so I'm bettering myself, and I haven't found the right person. Exactly, friend. And it's okay. Like some of us find the right person earlier in life, some of us do it a lot later in life. Like just that saying, or what I just said, I became so almost, I want to say, painfully aware of at that same festival that I was basically talking about at the start of the stream. Because at this festival, I met this beautiful couple. Stealing the other like flip flop. Met this beautiful couple, Carrie and his like, I think wife, girlfriend, Beatrix, and like just seeing how much they love each other, how much they care for each other, and how similar me and Carrie was to one another. Dog bumped my camera. I was like, oh, I was asking him. Oh no, I asked her actually. Like we were sitting in that little area, and I asked her, how long is it going to take me to meet the you in my life? And she was like, oh, me and Carrie met each other when we were 35. And I like my heart sank. I was like, I'm gonna have to wait 13 years? Or I could potentially wait 13 years until I find my soulmate. And I was like, oh, please, no. But maybe that's going to be the case. We don't know. What is a poly relationship? A poly relationship, friend, is a relationship between between 3 or more people. I asked myself so many questions before I decided to jump into the relationship. Then I understood I won't get my answers without trying. I'm thinking about you and Simon as well, actually, STZ, because he told me that he hasn't seen you in so long, friend. Like that must really suck as well. I do understand, and I feel for you, friend, so much. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon, though. Exactly, STZ. Jealousy is not something I like feeling, but it's just second nature at this point, because it's just a social norm, and I'm working on not getting jealous about things that I shouldn't. I feel you, Edmund. Like, I feel the real thing with jealousy as well is that it's this response to you wanting something that is like pure or sacred, you know, in a way. And I do understand that perspective of it as well, right? You want this thing to be our thing, right? This is just me and you as this thing, right? And you feel like when this thing that you have is being shared or being had with someone else, then that takes away from the amount of thing that you have with one another. And I think in ways it can be, if you're like especially not open about something like that. Like if you lie and cheat on each other, like that's going to create so much turmoil within your own hearts and souls, because now you're pretending to have this thing with this other person while you know in your heart of heart that that thing is now compromised in a way. And I think that's the real problem. Leave my stuff alone, yo, please. Please stop eating my pashminas. No more biting. The reason I'm starting to her right off the bat. This is the damage I sustained yesterday. Now she's coming for the joint. No. 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 Are you in South Africa? Yes, I am, friend. Yes, I am in South Africa. How come you light the joint without hitting it? You don't mind the wasted weed. Like it's, yeah, you can say I don't mind, friend. Like I breathe out the first puff as well because there's propane in it. Stop biting me. Yeah, bite yourself. Bite yourself instead. Yeah. Freaking dog. You don't have a high tolerance, just curious. Like, I don't actually feel like I do have a high tolerance, interestingly enough, friend. Because I don't necessarily smoke the plant medicine with the intention of getting high, or like using, you know, the substance for the intention of getting high. For me, the substance is almost like a catalyst to something larger than that. So, for example, under this little Garrick, you probably won't be able to see this. Like, there's a black spot because I wrote down on this little Garrick what my intention is for it, why I'm smoking it. And the reason I'm smoking it is with the intention of understanding, you know? And I'm drinking water with the intention of comprehension. So in this understanding and comprehension, like, I'm basically firing these patterns in my own head when I'm smoking this plant. And from that place is where the information flows, if you will. That's where my experience comes from. Not necessarily from just experiencing the plant in itself. It's my own mind's chemistry, or my own mind's firing of patterns that I'm experiencing. This is just a catalyst to that at the end of the day. What are you wearing? I'm wearing clothes, friend. I don't know. I don't think a poly relationship is for me, but I have no issues with it, and definitely would like to understand them more. That's what we're trying to do here, Edmund. That's literally all we're trying to do. We're not saying it's the right way to do things. We're just trying to understand these things. I don't think a poly relationship... Oh, how interested are you in human history? Like Gobekli tape? What? Tepe. I'd like not interested enough to know what that word means. To give you an example, friend, it changes our view on who we are. Oh, that's interesting. What's up, Mel? Thanks for the support yesterday. You're so welcome, Airborne Army Guy. Airborne Army Guy is another new streamer friend that has like a singing bowls and stuff, and he creates some very energetically very energetically satisfying streams with vibrations. You can hear it. I could basically make your phone vibrate as well. Edmund, there's a great article I read about jealousy. How it's not an actual emotion, just something we use when there's some insecurities and fears, etc. When you understand the source of jealousy, you can overcome it better. I can try and find the article for you, I'm guessing is what you're saying. And you're so right as well, friend. Like, it is a sense of fear. And, like, something that I say a lot on these streams, I believe the right way, or at least the better way to live, is to live from a place of love and forgiveness, right? To think of it as like an energetic difference in understanding. Either I choose love and forgiveness, or I choose fear and judgment. And like the choice that you make is going to determine what you feel in your life. So I'm thinking of going back to my short hair, like a 1/4 inch in the back with some bangs in the front. And I'm feeling the urge even stronger moving back into my grandmother's house. Thoughts? My friend, you do you. If you feel that way, do it. Your hair grows back. If not, why not, right? Like I had purple hair at one point in my life. You friends are like, what? Not exactly purple. It was almost like a reddish, but it wasn't kind of nice. But would I do that now? Maybe. Maybe I would. But I feel I wouldn't want to harm my hair right now. That's the real thing I'm worried about. Well, that's a drastic scar. Your hair is so long. Why do you feel that? You'll look beautiful either way. Just curious. I feel it was. Okay, whoa! That is amazing. I'm so happy you think that. I'm really happy you think that when it rains it pours. I've never seen that award before. SDZ. I have definitely be interested in that. I'm intrigued and I agree. I think jealousy definitely stems from other issues within and not necessarily caused by the outside sources. Yeah, definitely. That's really not pretty though, because you were worried about him being competition, which is reasonable in my opinion. Petty though. Like again, it was fear. It was fear in my opinion. Like if I was worried about him being in competition, then I was living in a place of fear instead of love and forgiveness, right? So still my fault. I actually prefer my hair that's short. Just been trying to grow it out for psychological reasons. It actually really hard for me to keep it long. I cut up a couple inches, hoping I'd help, but I just made the need to get it short stronger. I hear you, Scarmelia. I mean, do it, friend. Like I'm encouraging you to do what it is you feel is right for you. Hey Simon, you've missed a little bit of a stream that you would appreciate, dude. What was I supposed to join? You were supposed to join into the poly relationships conversation, dude. I know it's been a topic that came up a few times and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we really got into the meat and potatoes of it today, dude. Good morning, Simon. Talking about poly relationships. Yeah, and SDZ dropped some facts on me as well. You gonna tell him that you dropped facts on me, SDZ? I don't want to. I love you so much. I'm happy to have been here. I gotta go do my errands done. Hope you all have a loving day. Thank you for being here with us, Ryan. We love you as well, friend. We'll see you again. Meltmore still needs one girlfriend before he starts considering two. Yeah, dude, like you can go and see me say that as well, man. I agree completely. That's literally what I was like talking about. I'm like, I've been single for 3 years because I can't find a single person that I want to be with. How the hell am I supposed to do that with 2 people? But I understand, or some part of me understands why that could actually work. And I've never been in something like that, so I can't know if it actually will. But I do believe that is going to be an experience in its own. Oh, she settled down. I want to wash my hands. Can you see how dirty she is? Freaking disgusting. I'm a little bit of a clean freak. Not necessarily clean freak. Maybe just compulsive when it comes to my hands and their cleanliness. Like if I can feel debris when I rub my fingers together, that irks me to the bone. I met him in Ireland. Game of Thrones day tour then. That's amazing. What are the odds of actually that happening? So you met Simon that lives in Canada and you live in Dubai? You met him in Ireland. Now you're in a poly relationship as a result of that. Mind blown. Thank you for the vibe, Dan. I'm never ready when it happens, but I don't want to ignore my nature and needs. So it's harder to ignore the poly feelings than to not act on them. I hear you. Like it's almost you taking away from yourself as well, in a way. You're like ignoring things. Lol, Mel's mind was just blown into absolute smithereens. Yeah. I guess that Cyber was actually there for that. Then, Edmund, I will look for the article for you. Thank you, friend. Don't break your back over it. I can't find it though. Yeah, it's okay. Almost 2 years now, but soon. I'm optimistic. I'm so happy to hear this. Well, I'm sure it's gonna be soon. She eat your laces yet? Yeah, she's been eating laces non-stop. Like she stole my grinder, both my sandals, and my rolling papers today. I'll show you, friends, where she has dropped all of them at the end of the stream when I stand up. But now she has settled down. It's like a sleeping dragon on my lap. Don't want to shake too much, wake her up. And hell, like, thank you for being here as well. Again, Tannen's princess. It's actually you yesterday who prompted this kind of train of thought that we've been in for the last bit as well. Psst, hi. Hey, Toasty. Thank you for joining us, friend. How have you been, man? I've been thinking about you a lot, dude. I've been thinking about you a lot. I've been hoping that I could see more of your artwork, man. Genuinely, I want to see more of your stuff, dude. And hey, thank you for joining us as well, Viking Queen. Smoking for understanding. I can get down with that. Cheers to you as well, Jovan. Thank you for joining us today. Oh, there we go. Gonna smoke some more for understanding while I hear kids scream. Man, one of the people that is here as well right now is actually Pastor Tini. Pastor Tini. It's like our local pastors, the pastors my parents go to. And today's subject matter would get me stoned by the local villagers. Not exactly, but basically. Have you ever blown out the weed while smoking? Like, out of my paper? Never, friend. That has never happened to me, because I usually pack it, I either pack it too tight or exactly right. Never loose, and like when it's loose you can blow it out. Do not cut your hair, don't tell me what to do. I won't cut my hair, friend. I'm gonna grow it until it no longer grows, and then I'll get rid of it. Tepe is some wild shit. Human civilization is much older than we think. What do you think about those civilizations that disappeared as well? There's like some weird theories about like transcendence and aliens and children screaming at the top of their lungs. I had blue hair. I can see it. Candace. I would like to see photos if you have any. Hey, Tranflowers. It's so nice to see you again. I joined your Discord. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Tranflowers. And is it still June? Happy Pride, friend. Happy Pride to you. Down to the middle of my back, long and very blue. I would love to see photos. Please, Candace. I need to trim my hair, but I'm too scared. Just like the little like split ends, dude. You have such long hair though, Edmund. I can understand that you're like attached to it, but I mean, like, you can lose a lot of centimeters and not even notice. Your streams are appreciated, and I enjoy the community award. Namaste. Thank you, friend. I appreciate your presence, and I appreciate you sharing in this conversation with us. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about this poly relationship thing? Like, I feel it's especially difficult to consider in like the old traditional way of understanding, with at least the upbringing of my parents and the parents before them, and then the way they chose to bring me up as well. Because now I'm trying to think as well, like learning in this moment, how I would want to talk to my kids about stuff like this in the future. Is that something you have to talk to your kids about? I feel maybe no. And that feeling makes me question the thing in the first place. You know, it's like, if I'm not comfortable in telling my kids about what poly relationships are, like, kids to me again, like it's like 6-year-olds. So I feel you didn't tell your kids about any relationships. So I can't, when I say any relationships are wrong, no, can't say that, because they don't have to think about shit like that at that point, right? Maybe when they're 13, but you don't want your confused 13-year-old kid to like be like, oh, I see all of these, opposite sex of mine or same sex of mine, whatever he chooses, and I'm sexually attracted to them, and then I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, dude, you also don't just have to be with one of them. You can just like kind of go free reign. I'm not sure if that's necessarily an idea you want to be introducing at that young of an age. I think it definitely has to be something maybe he has to find for himself. Or for herself. Blue, pink, purple here in the past. I mean, also shaved my head once. Maybe again, who knows when the wind will strike. Who knows, friend? Like, I think, and I have maybe a feeling about this, that maybe at some point in my life I'm going to be completely skinheaded as well. No hair whatsoever. My hair is so important to me, and it's an extension and expression of myself. I understand completely. And look, it's not easy to grow your hair. I mean, you just don't cut it. Yeah, but like it gets in the way, it gets in your face, it gets in your mouth when you're eating. You have to tie it up, otherwise it like pulls your neck when you're like sitting down or laying on your bed. Technically a nuisance, technically. So it is work that you have to put into it. My hair has always been super long. I loved my fire truck and hair when I had it. I have shaved it all off, but everyone gives such a negative response when I suggest it. I want to shave it all off. I can kind of see you rocking, the shaved head look though, Jovan. I don't know if you still have a nose ring, but I'm for some reason imagining you with a nose ring with like maybe like a 4 or a 5 buzz cut. So not like completely naked, but like a 5 buzz cut. I think you'd rock that. I'm not encouraging you to do that. I mean, if you love your hair, keep it. It's your choice at the end of the day. Hair grows back. For most people, at least. Flips hair glamorously. Ah, shucks, guys. Did I do it justice, Edmund? There is something magical when you accept the love. When you accept the love that someone you love get from another person. I can imagine. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? Are you, Paul? Yeah, that's very true. Like, I think that is basically step 1 of what you need to be doing if you want to be in a relationship at all, is you need to kind of determine whether or not you're getting into this relationship because you're in a place of need or because you're in a place of abundance. If I have so much love that I want to be in a relationship to be able to give this love to another person as well, that's a great reason to get into a relationship. If I have so little love that I need this person to like satiate me, provide life force for me, then I'm doomed to fail. One person's gonna get taxed. Experience the same negativity, but the people saying don't do it actually like my bald little head. I think I would do it. I don't know what you look like just yet, Tristan. But there's so much beauty in just a human being, Like your hair is something that is a pretty, I want to say almost, like it's not one-dimensional. That's a little bit mean to say. But I feel hair has a lot less dimensions of nuance and complexity and beauty to it than an eye does, Or just the average human face. Like think about how much expression, complexity, and like beauty they can be in a human face, where I feel hair doesn't have as much of that. So as long as you keep your face, your hair can go. Melty, I think he was here when you read my facts, lol. Israel. Thank you, SDZ. Israel. Kids. Man, my dad has been to Israel. Has he? I think so. Like I'm like what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to picture myself in Israel, and while I was doing that, I remembered this photo I saw of my dad as a young man. Because me trying to picture myself in this place, my mind went to what my dad used to look like as a young man. Interestingly enough, I feel I don't always know what I look like. You know, when I'm like closing my eyes and I'm like, what do I look like? I'm like pulling up blanks. But then I look at my dad and I recognize, you know, that there's like a similarity there. Israel. What do you think about Israel, STZ? Is it the country that you want to stay in? Do you want to move anywhere else? Are you going to go to the Netherlands as well? I'm curious. That's amazing. I love that. I love you, friends. You're not compulsive, bro. You're just aware of microbiology. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for justifying a little bit, Toasty. I'm aware of it, and like I know that I'm like smoking on something, and like I'm pretty sure you friends saw that I was very conscious of not touching her with this hand, the one that I was holding the joint with, because I don't want to be stroking her and then like transferring that to my mouth, and I'm probably still doing that to some like smaller extent, but it's kind of a numbers game when it comes to bacteria and viruses. If you get like a big dose, they have a better chance of surviving. If you get a smaller dose, your own immune system will like do something to stop them. The fact that this wasn't common knowledge literally like as much as 100 years ago, doctors, oh shit, doctors only started properly washing their hands, like set it as a rule, in like the 1980s. Yeah, washing your hands is very interesting as well. At least washing it with soap, because soap is made of like a fatty base and like an alkaline as well. It kind of has these loose lipid layers. It's like this little like proton with like a little tail on it. Is it a proton? Like a little molecule with a little tail on it. And that is very similar to the way that viruses and bacteria basically have a membrane around their own cells as well. And when you wash your hands, that friction and abrasion basically just bonds with their own cells and then rips it apart, killing them very effectively. Literally, as like a normal as bar of soap kills most germs. Just it doesn't have to have antibacterial stuff in it. Just normal soap. If you spend 15 minutes with the most cheap, basic as bar of soap, you'd probably be able to kill most germs on your hands. Which is interesting, you know, because our bodies are made of almost the same thing, and we have the same external layer that keeps us safe from this external world. Because of our scale, we don't get dissolved. Maybe a little bit we get dissolved by this soap, but man, just being a human being is weird. Oh goodness. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. The comments have stopped. I feel like I'm being looked at. Maybe. This is going to be the end of the stream. I love Israel. There we go. It's an amazing country. It's not perfect. But it's a great place. And I am moving to the Netherlands too. There we go. I would like to see it as well. You know, I genuinely have this fascination with culture. Of different places, different perspectives, different understandings of the whole. You know, and the more time you spend exposing yourself to different perspectives, the larger that perspective grows within inside of yourself, you know. And I do believe that in doing that, we equip ourselves to like take more from life, quite literally. Like the faculties that we have, the perspective that we have
in order to like feel from something that happens in our lives is more vast. It literally, it's like having a vocabulary about how you're supposed to be feeling about things or how you're supposed to be seeing things. And I think the more we do that to ourselves, right? The more we expose ourselves to good information, the more we challenge our own ideas, the more we just explore our own consciousness and the way that we process things, the better we're going to become at doing that. And at the end of the day, I do believe that is exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Washing your hands, a violent and gory story of killing germs by Meltmar. Yeah, I mean, you can make anything sound super hectic if you really use some funny terminology. Not Salt and Star. I just imagine like this advert. So this is what it does. It freaking murders them, like just genocide of germs. Don't you feel bad? The fact you need a blanket right now is confusing my brain because it's been so hot in the States. Yeah, like for me it's winter when it's summer for you, friend. So to me right now, like I'm kind of cold. Kind of cold. Not very cold, but it's just not like really nice and comfortable. I'm like, happy you're joining me here though, friend. Like, how hot is hot for you? The hottest that I've experienced of African weather is like 45 degrees Celsius. We don't get like super hectic humidity. We just get like super high temperatures. But when I was in China, like the temperature would spike up to like 40, but the humidity would be like 80%. And that was dreadful. Like I felt like I wanted to die at some point. But maybe like there was more factors to that, but yeah, it was not comfortable. You would like drive to your school on your little e-bike, and you would get there, and you would feel like you like I would. Okay, so to give you an example, I would wake up in the morning, and I would shower. I would get dressed. I would go to school. Then around 1, I would go back home. I would shower, and I would go back to school. The time it took me after that shower and to get back to school, I already felt dirty again because of just the sheer humidity. Like I felt like stuff was sticking to my face. And knowing, just how hectic pollution is, I felt like not only was moisture sticking to my face, but carcinogen containing moisture sticking to my face. And that was like really messing with my brain. And I was like, I want to get it off of me. I want to get it off of me. No. And I'm like teaching, and I'm like, want to get back home so I can take a shower. It was bad. And then during the midst of all of this, I had a roommate that insisted on smoking inside of our apartment. You know, like imagine feeling like you can't escape smog, and then you walk into your apartment and someone is smoking on the couch. Yeah. I'm not going to get into another China trip. Hey, comments work again. They do. I'm so happy to see that actually. Like now I feel like I'm behind again. I don't know if I believe in the alien stuff, but we should definitely have a chat sometimes about Go Becky Tepe, Guna Manga Pangdam Lambam, and the lost civilization that built them. I would love to, friend, and I would love for you to tell me how to say those words as well. I'm convinced they existed and that they were highly advanced like us. I would love to talk about that. Their technology was probably a little bit different than ours. Where are you from? I'm from South Africa, my friend. My comment came so late, lol. Our pan is bugging. It is bugging. I'm not surprised, but like I'm here. Here we go again. Not stopping just yet. Make sure to let me know if you have a chance to visit here. I will gladly take you on a tour. Oh, and I agree with what you just said. Oh, and this is something I've tried to send before, but Reddit didn't let me for some reason. I think you'll know when the right time to talk to your kids about things like that. I believe it's important to be open, especially with the next generation. I think so as well, SDZ. No, and like I feel like there is this extreme responsibility for when I'm going to have kids, for me to do that, to do right by them at the end of the day, right? Like I think we all, I guess we have that responsibility. But in that knowing, I feel like I'm supposed to, like I'm literally like in boot camp constantly, like training myself, trying to broaden my own perspective on what life is supposed to be, how I'm supposed to be thinking about things, how I'm supposed to be exploring ideas, how I'm supposed to be treating kids, someone that's hurting, someone that has lost someone that is confused. Like, I'm trying to expand on what I am capable of doing. And in doing so, I do believe I'm going to equip myself with the capacity to raise good children, our next generation, right? And I feel like it's such a responsibility that I can't say that I'm ready just yet. Ooh, the comments are broken still, I think. Okay, never mind. I think they're like coming through like that or something. Got to go. Love to you all, my friend fam. Love you too, Jovan. Thank you for joining us. Bro, you always give the most positive energy. Do you ever have a do you ever have a good day? Appreciate you, brother. I'm guessing you meant bad day. Yeah, I have a bunch of bad days, friend. And like sometimes we're crying on stream because of that as well. But I do believe that you can still, you know, be the expression of love in bad situations at the end of the day. Jovan, lol, oh my goodness, I'm dumb. Equators are a thing. Some places it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You see, 100 degrees Fahrenheit doesn't make sense to my brain. It's like 100 of a unit of hot. The hottest you've experienced is 45 of a unit of hot. That's double that unit of hotness. But it's not. It's not that much. You see, I don't know how hot 100 degrees Fahrenheit is. Where's our converter bot? I believe you'll be an amazing father one day. Thank you so much, SDZ. I hope so, friend. Ooh, like I won't say, like, I love my dad and I think he was a great dad, but damn, like, I got wrecked because of my relationship with my dad. I still get wrecked. You friends know. You friends know I still get wrecked with my feelings around the relationship I have with my dad, things that we are willing to discuss, the understandings we have. Like, I feel first and foremost, if I have kids ever, I want to enter into a relationship with them where we both understand that we can question things and that I'm going to listen to those questions and I'm going to try and like answer it from a place of like actual truth, you know. And to me, that truth is not claiming that I know what the truth is as well in a lot of ways. You know, I've grown up my entire life being told that this one thing is the ultimate truth, you know, and there's nothing that I can say that is going to alter or change or like topple that maybe as well. And yeah, like that's just not an upbringing that I would want for my kids as well. It's approximately 38 degrees. Thank you so much, Dan, for letting me know, friend. Yeah, that's hot. That's really hot. Keeping the fire going and the love lamp lit. Blessings, friends. Have a good night, Mel. Thank you so much, Kristen, for being here with us. Have a great night from Melody. And thank you for telling me as well, Dry Historian. I appreciate you, friend, sharing this space with me. I look forward to spending some time with you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.